Hey, great to have you here. So back today with another One Piece card game video, and we are covering the last of the new Starter Deck 20. I know I'm probably late to the party when it comes to covering these, so appreciate you all for watching these, and always the support I really appreciate. So once again, as usual, we'll set aside the, oh, that looks a little goofy. We'll set aside the PRV pack itself and cover those in the final video here. Put that over there. I think Katakuri, I'm not sure this one's the most viable. I feel like when I've heard people play with it in a tournament, it didn't perform too well, and I don't think it's the most popular one that people picked up, so I'm expecting not a lot of positive cards in here, but we'll take a look and make our own assumptions. And as usual with all these videos, let me know comments below if there's cards that I'm not seeing the value of that you say, hey, you could use this in this instance. We'd love to see that. So Katakuri. Give a Don when attacking, look up to one card from the top of your opponent's life cards, you or your opponent's, and place it at the top or bottom of the life cards. This later gains 1,000 power. Got you. You're giving a Don, and then you get an extra 1,000 power, so you're pretty much giving a Don, get them up to 7, and then you can do life card searching. So yellow, as you probably know, is a lot of trigger cards, so more often than not, you'll probably look at yours, but then after that, you may be looking at your opponents, and you're trying to put good cards that they would want, or trigger cards for them, in spots where they wouldn't want to be able to pull them. So it's a lot of life manipulation. I like this card overall, it looks cool. Katakuri, blocker, 5 cost, 6k, 1,000 counter. Once returned, you may turn one card from the top of your life cards face up. Give up to one rested Don to your leader characters. Okay, interesting. So you're turning a card face up, you're giving a rested Don to somebody. I don't see the downside of putting it face up, except you're telling your opponent what it is, or maybe you're seeing it yourself if you haven't used your Katakuri ability, I guess. But it's not like it's Luffy where it gets trashed, so not sure there's a whole lot of downside other than strategy gets kind of shown, like your cards get shown there, like literally and strategically. All right, Linlin, everybody loves all the high cost Linlin cards. On play, you can trash one card from your hand. Your opponent chooses trash 2 cards from their hand or trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. Got it, so they can choose to trash 1 card from their life or 2 cards from hand. I'm curious with this one, if you play this, if you trash a card from your hand, let's say they only have 1 card, would they have the option just to say, let me trash 1 and that be the worst? Or let's say they have 0 cards. Could they just, in theory, choose that and do nothing? I think that's the case, but it always feels like kind of ambiguous. But overall, villains always do like the whole, I'm gonna take a life from you or give me a life, so that makes sense. 4 cost, 5k. This character will be KO'd by an effect. You may trash 1 card from the top of your life cards instead. I don't know if I would do that often. I mean, I guess you're gaining life, so you could probably afford to do it. I would say that's pretty average. All right, 3 cost, 3,000 power. Obviously, the 2k counter is big on this one to trigger. Look at the 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. Place it top or bottom, then add this card to your hand. Okay, well, it's like using the trigger without having to discard it, but then you just like searching life. I don't... Questionable. If you're playing against like another yellow or something where they have triggers, maybe you'd be interested in seeing what they had. On play, you may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand, set to 1 of your big bombs with the cost less is active. Okay, so you're adding a card from your life to your hand, and then you're resetting somebody, but that's probably not great either. 4 cost, vanilla 6k. Okay, 2 cost, 2k blocker with the 1k counter. Charlotte Smoothie. 4 cost, 5k. When attacking, you can add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. This character gains 2,000 power during this battle. Okay, so you're adding a card from your life to your hand and giving 2,000 power. That's questionable. You may trash 1 card from your hand and play this card. Okay, the trigger is really for that one. I feel like this is the reason you'd have it in your deck. Okay, this looks like a searcher, your typical 1 cost, 2k searcher. 1 cost, 1k. On play, you may trash 1 card with a trigger from your hand, KO to your opponent characters with the cost of 1 or less. Cost of 1 or less? I mean, if you're doing some like black, yellow Luffy and you're like manipulating their cost down to be a 1. Other than that, like maybe they have a 1 cost blocker. I don't know if that's the best, but especially because you're trashing a card with a trigger. Yeah, the 2k counter is why I'd keep that. That's really the only reason. 4 cost, 5k. Give a Don when attacking. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. Add to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Okay, so when you're attacking and you give it a Don, you're pretty much drawing from your life and then you're putting a new card on your life. So it's just kind of cycling a card into your hand. Vanilla 3 cost 5k there. All right, on to some events. Counter 2 cost. After one of your characters, it's 5,000 power. 5k counter for 2 cost. That's pretty effective. You may trash 2 cards from your hand, add 1 card from top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Okay, so good counter as far as it just kind of recycles though, because you took one, then you like put it back, but not bad. Okay, 2 cost. You may trash 1 card from the top of your life cards. K up to 1 your opponent character with the cost of 5 or less. That is effective. I think I've seen this used against me actually, with even the trigger especially is why you put it in there. K up to 1 card with the cost of 5 or less from your opponent. So the trigger is really big on that one. Overall, I think there's parts to this deck that you would possibly put in a yellow deck. I don't think as a whole it's very effective, but I could see pieces used here and there for alternate yellow decks. So those are my thoughts overall. What are you guys' thoughts on the Katakuri deck? Is it one that you picked up as a deck? I think it's probably somewhat mid to lower tier. Like it's probably worth maybe. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a ranking of each of these starter decks, but probably gonna put this one somewhere in the lower middle because there's things that work, but things that don't necessarily work at the same time. So overall, appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you again soon.